Hello, this is your makeup artist Nishka, and I would like to humbly invite you to watch the unfolding of my birthday glam with me. So, I'm sharing all the tips and tricks which I use to do makeup on myself. Hence, I hope you stick around and stay till the end of the video to find something new and learn something amazing. Okay, so the first things first, I'm going to start with moisturizing and prepping my skin. For that, I'm using the D'Alba Spray Serum. This stuff is really amazing and it's so hydrating. It gives you the most luminous, lit from within glow without having to layer on too much products on your skin. So this is how I'm going to be spraying it. I like to use a fair, generous quantity of it because it's super lightweight. And one more important thing, it's very important to shake this product before using it to activate the serum and activate the oil blend. That is what is going to be creating the amazing finish on the skin, as you can see right now. Also, this is a very good topper on skin. Like once the foundation is done, you can use it and it adds a nice bit of hydration to the skin. All right, moving on to the next step. So for my base today, I want it to be extremely luminous, juicy, skin-like and glowy, for which I am just going to quickly prime my face with the Bobbi Brown Face Enriched Vitamin E Primer. This is a really good primer. I have literally, this is my third tub of it. It's that amazing. And what I like to do is I like to grab a dollop of it and apply it all over my face so that I am able to melt it and marry it into the skin as I go. Now I'm just going to be applying it all over my face, and I like to give myself a nice massage while doing this. I love using my hands as much as possible for the skin prep because this gives me the most controlled and luminous finish. Plus it helps the products penetrate so much better and deeper into the skin as I go along. Also using it the center of my forehead, this area and around my mouth is sometimes the area that I find that gets usually a little bit dry. So for that reason, I am just going to be paying a little bit of extra attention in those areas. Another reason why I really love this Bobbi Brown primer as a moisturizer and primer for the face is because it's a really lightweight product. And it does feel a little heavy like a cream on the skin initially when you apply it, but as you blend and as you marry properly into your skin, into the crevices, warm it up with the natural oils of your skin and spread it across, it becomes super amazing, and it just gives the most amazing base to the makeup ever. As you can see, the skin is looking already plump and glowy right away. It's just the two products that we have used till now and it's looking so good. I mean, touch wood. We have a fantastic canvas today. All right, we're gonna let this settle in for a little while, and to speed up the process, I'm gonna be using my mini fan. I like to give about like 5-6 minutes for the base to sink in, and then I start applying the pigment and liquid products onto my skin. Okay, so I missed it, but I'm going to show you anyway. So the next product I'm going to be using is my Kryolan color corrector. Now this is in the shade orange, and I like to use an orange based color corrector for slight pigmentation, which I have around my eyes, around my mouth, and a little around my forehead. As you can see, I have applied a color corrector just in those places, and I'm using my Sigma E52 brush to just blend it out. Using an orange based color corrector helps me neutralize the darkness under my eyes a little bit before I put on any foundations and concealers. In that way, I use way less product in the long run. And so I like to use a tapping motion like this to ensure that the color corrector is blended nicely around those dark areas. I like to use a very little amount of color corrector because this stuff is really pigmented, and initially when I tried it on I was like, oh okay, it's orange, it's light, so what's the harm, I can use it. And accidentally I made my whole face orange. So little bit goes a very long way with this color corrector, but it does melt very beautifully. As you can see, no lights. The color corrector is now having some time to sit in. Meanwhile, I'm going to be activating my foundation. For foundation, I'm using the NARS Barcelona today. And by activating the foundation, it means I just take a little bit on the back of my hand, and after I have like 1 or 2 pumps out on it on the back of my hand, I like to just spread it around a little bit like that, like thin layer of foundation, so it mixes around with the temperature and oxygen in the room, due to which the chances of a foundation oxidizing drop a lot, because we activate the foundation along with oxygen and the temperatures all around. So do try this technique in case if your foundation turns gray or you have the foundation cracking problem sometimes if you try it out. Now I'm going to take my beauty blender, dip it in to this amazing activated foundation, and I'm just going to start blending and tapping the foundation onto my skin. It's a very beautiful, luminous, lightweight foundation, the NARS Barcelona. It's absolutely my super favorite in my vanity. Like, when it comes to liquid foundations, this one is the absolute star for me. And I'm going to take a little bit more. And starting from the center of my face, I like to tap and blend the foundation out. Just like that. And I have this little trick. So for application of foundation, I usually like to use this much part of the blender. I usually like to use this much part of my blender, and the rest of the blender behind the blender, usually I like to use it to diffuse the foundation, so it's not as strong and harsh as it comes out from the center part. So whenever I want to diffuse, I just slightly tilt my blender and it absorbs the excess foundation that is there. When I want to like add coverage, I like to use the top part. In all seasons, summer, winter, rainy in India, summer rainy, summer cold, rainy, winter. We are having mixed seasons in India right now, but I've worn it under almost all the conditions here during Indian weather, and it does not fail me at all. The coverage lasts, the finish is amazing, and oh my god, the feel on the skin is so lightweight. It literally feels like I don't have anything on my skin. And that's the foundation. Next up, I'm going to take my NARS liquid blush. This is in the shade Torrid, and I'm going to take like about half pump of it. It's a super liquidy, lightweight blush, and I'm just going to apply it to the apples of my cheeks, like that. I like this shade of NARS in blush a lot on complexions like me, or when I'm doing bridal makeup on clients, because this shade has the perfect amount of warm and cool undertones in it, and it's slightly towards warm, so it helps the complexion brighten up amazingly without it looking like it's flushed out or it's weighing it down to a certain extent. I love the natural flush of blush that this shade gives me. They also have a powder version of this, but I'll tell you a trick of how I like to make my blush pop when we get to the powder one. Slightly on the nose and under the nose. Next up, I'm taking the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. This is slightly lighter than my skin tone, and it's in the shade Light Neutral. And I like to just brighten up my under eye area with this. So I like to apply it in the center, on the chin, little around the corners of my mouth, little bit. This is a super drying concealer and yet amazing. That's why I like to work with it fast. And also, it's a very good idea to let the concealer sit on the skin for a while before blending it out. So this part of concealer, since there's a little heavier layer, I'm going to let it sit. These parts, I need to blend it instantly. Now I'm going to take my time in blending the under eye area, because this area I like to pay special attention towards since I have a little bit of lines in that area. So I like to look down and then I like to blend. But look at that smoothness, look at that flawless coverage. So gorgeous, so pretty. Same on this side. As much as I'm taking my time in blending this product, I'm also making sure that it is diffused and blended evenly under the eye area, because I want to ensure that there are no patches or no areas it can cling to. So that looks amazing, absolutely amazing. Next up, I like to take my Charlotte Tilbury compact powder, and I'm in the shade 2 medium, and with the help of a slightly diffused powder brush, I just like to mattify underneath my eye, so there's no shine particularly in this space. And I like to pat down only those areas where I've applied concealer. Rest of my face, I'm okay with leaving it bare, because I like that dewy, luminous, glow, lit from within feel. And the more powder you use, the more it starts to look cakey and heavy on the skin. Now I just powdered this area and this area and little around my mouth and here, basically the areas where we used the concealer in. And we're gonna let that settle in for just like 2 to 3 minutes. Then we're gonna spray it. This is the blush trick that I was talking about. So previously we used a kind of corally peachy shade for the liquid blush, right? So now I like to top it off with a little bit of a candy pink kind of a blush shade. This is by Too Faced, and it's a very light pink, but it gives the most doll-like blush finish because it has the underneath layer of a coral, and having it topped off with a candy-like blush gives it a more amazing and even gradient of blush from dark to light. This is how I like to do my blush, and it stays, it looks like very natural as well, but it stays the entire day because we have done some powder locking on top of that liquid blush. I love it. It gives the most beautiful natural finish. So for eyes that look glam and stand out, I love to go for a simple, shimmery, sparkly eye. And for that, I am just going to use my Urban Decay Perversion pencil. It's this one right here. This is the blackest of the black pencil I've ever felt. And I'm just gonna smudge it slightly with my ring finger. So this is what I'm doing exactly on the other side as well. I'm just gonna smudge this portion out a little bit more because it's birthday glam. I'm going to take my blending brush, this one. This is a clean blending brush, and I am just going to diffuse the edges of the black on this part. Just diffuse them so there are no harsh lines specifically in the outer area. And I'm not dragging the product anywhere. I'm just slightly diffusing it, giving it some soft love. For shimmer, I like to use this Rom and palette, and I'm gonna be wearing. Okay, so I think I'm gonna be going with this shimmer today because I'm gonna be wearing diamond jewelry that has a little bit of specks of pink shimmer in it. So I want that to match a little bit with the eyes. So, ooh. I love shimmers that don't need glue and a lot of hubbub for applications. This is so smooth and buttery. Check it. And the best part of it is I'm using the natural pigmentation of my eye to kind of give the contoured effect in my eye. So there's no extra eyeshadow, there's no extra color in blending. Literally just these two products. Plus, I would like to give you a tip over here. So for shimmer application, it's always good that your eyelid has a little bit of a tacky base underneath it. So what I did previously was when I was blending my foundation, I took the blender also up to my eyelid, and that created a very fine tacky base, because till the time we were setting the face with powder and blush and everything, it had amazing amount of time to get a little bit tacky. So the shimmer is actually laying on top of that. Genius. So off camera, I applied this mascara, which is the Maybelline Lash Sensational. This gives amazing volume to the real lashes, and applied it on my top and bottom lashes together. And now we're going to be moving on to the lips. So for the lips, I'm choosing a little bit of a pinky nude brown. I'm yet to decide whether to go for a glossy finish or a matte one, but the tone I want it to be in a little bit of pinky brown, something that suits my complexion. So for that, I'm going to start off with lining my lips, and I always like to start lining my lips from the center portion. So I overline my lips a little bit in the center, and then I connect it to the natural line and then blend out that line later. Diffusing the lines of the lip liner where we have outlined the lip really gives a soft, velvety, matte kind of a luxurious pout to the lip without the harsh lines. So for lips, I've used this MAC lip shade, which is over the top, and it's like a powder kiss kind of a lip color. It's super gorgeous taupe shade. One of my literal favorites. I love this color, and I love this color on me because it comes out to be the perfect pinky nude that I'm usually looking for. And finally, I'm gonna set all of my base together with the Charlotte Tilbury's Airbrush Fixing Spray. This one right here. Very beautiful, super luminous, lightweight kind of a spray. This is where I usually super light, and I wanted to dry while holding on to the powders and everything, so I can touch up my liner because we've not applied any liquid liner till now. So we'll just touch up the liner and then that's a wrap. And now that the makeup has settled in, you can like have a look close. It looks so beautiful, so easy, and absolutely skin-like dewy finish. So this is my birthday glam. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you learned something. If you have any questions for me, feel free to drop it in the comments box below, and I will see you next time. Bye.